Hey Laura, I went out to the house on Briar Patch this morning and inspected the fireplace for you. And let's take a look at the inspection report as it reads out. Upper right-hand corner is a legend. Each one of these initials pertain to something. A is consistent with the age of the chimney. B, see comments below. C, repairs needed. D, need further evaluation. Or E, not applicable. Placed into the boxes next to the parts of the chimney that you can identify in this diagram. And then, of course, my comment here below. Let's take a look at this fireplace. What a beautiful unit. This is called a direct vent fireplace. Let's go back to the diagram here. This is what it looks like behind the walls, right? Beautiful convective air moving through the unit and bringing heat into the house. You get a little radiant heat. These things are wonderful. And by the way, they operate even without power. So if you have a ice storm or anything that interrupts your electricity, your furnace is not going to work, but this thing will work beautifully. So anyway, let's go back. Operates off of a house switch that's on the right-hand side for you. All the service tools are up underneath. That's something that the homeowner doesn't even really need to be concerned about. But these are all the shut-off equipment and so on and so forth, and that's handled strictly by service providers. Licensed plumbers, really, or fireplace specialists. All right. So my one comment, and at first blush, we're as chimney sweeps, we're always worried about house fires. We're always worried about carbon monoxide. I've been doing this for 40 years. We used to worry about chimney fires back in the wood stove era, and we had lots of them in the wintertime. But now it's mostly gas is what I look at, gas fireplaces. And so we do worry about carbon monoxide. When I first looked at this under a porch, this is such an unusual situation that I thought, I don't want the carbon monoxide building up in here. And also these things get so hot, this termination cap on the porch gets so hot that if somebody touches it, they're certainly going to get burned. And so those were the two items that I was concerned about. Did a little research on it. Already knew that you can't have a window within 12 inches of it, and this certainly passes that muster. So there's no problems with that. It's certainly in a good spot. And the fact that the porch is open all the way around, I believe carbon monoxide is a non-issue here. I think we still would be concerned about somebody actually touching up against it, especially children, right? Touch it, but anybody actually, because it doesn't get red hot. It's not smoking. It's not doing anything that would alert somebody that it might be hot. And it says hot on it. The manufacturer prints that on there. But either which way, if you decide to put a little something around it to keep people from actually touching it, make sure that it's perforated so that this thing can breathe. It has to breathe. It has to exhaust to the outside. Otherwise, the unit would overheat, and then we're back to a worse scenario where perhaps we'd have a house fire. So, has to breathe. And I would give this a pass just the way it is, to be honest with you, unless somebody else comes up with an argument. I checked the codes. There's, as far as I can tell, there's no code telling you that you cannot put it in a covered porch as long as the porch is open. Obviously, if it was enclosed, you wouldn't want exhaust, in an enclosed space, but because it does produce carbon monoxide. But obviously, the building inspector passed it when the house was built. It all looks original to the house, the porch and the fireplace. And they gave the original homeowner a certificate of occupancy. So I'm going to say I would give you a pass on it. I think it looks great. Questions, though, for me, please give me a call, 704-526-6348. You can email me at chris@affordablesweep.com. Thank you.